This is Daf Yerushalmi Shevi'is in the article edition we got yesterday to the Mishnah, toward 2 lines at the bottom of Chaf Aleph Amud Aleph, and that in the Vilna is right? Is on Daf Zayin Amud Beis, also Halacha Gimel. Medayir Sadeu, and of course the exclusive learning Yerushalmi should be devoted to the Yeshua and Hatzalah of Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael from the Rishonim Arurim of the Gaza Strip in Machshma B'Zichram. Okay, so let's do the Mishnah. Medayir Sadeu Osa Sarla based on sign. You have sheep, and they're inside a corral, and they obviously are producing fertilizer. So you make how do you work it during Shemitah? So that doesn't look like you're actually fertilizing the field. So bear in mind, in the field, not in the deer itself, which is somewhere else. Perhaps he didn't have a deer, but this in the Sada he's doing this. Okay, so how's he going to do this? So he makes a sar for a base sign. He makes a boundary around base sign. Base sign is 50 by 100 amos, 5,000 square amos. Presumably in any way, shape, or form that 5,000 square amos can appear. He uproots three of the walls, and he puts them on the other side. And the Kavanaki has a picture here. I'm not sure we have. I think but not as good a picture. See, this is what he did first, Aleph. Then he takes these three walls, puts them over here to make a base. Okay, so the he is okay. 3 ruchos, Meirem Tzais, and leaves the middle wall, and Nimtza Medayer base Arbasin. So now he's Medayer for the two base signs, one on each side of that wall. And Shingamli Omer base Shmona Sein. Shingamli says you do 8. You do first Aleph, then base, then Gimel, and Dalet. So you do that in. It's not a circle, but whatever. You can do 8 saw. So the there base Arbasin. What if your entire field is base Arbasin? Going to commas. So if you do 4 sin, then you're going to actually be de facto fertilizing your entire field. You have to leave a little bit over, where you don't graze the animals because marasign. So it shouldn't look like you actually are fertilizing the entire field. Motzi minasar, you can take out of your the place where the zevel accumulated, and you can take that stuff. And you can put it into a field kederach hamazablin. Now, derech hamazablin doesn't mean that you're actually fertilizing it. It's shemitah, but you make those ashpasos we spoke about previously, the stockpiles in the field. Okay, so that way you can actually move it in preparation for the 8th year, presumably. Okay, let's make sure this actually is here in the Mishnah. I always make sure when I read about Kavanaki that there's no other part of this Mishnah, but I think there is. It's here. Tamatin, we learned. Sadashani skabza. If you have a field from which thorns have been removed during Shemitah, so Tizar and Motzei Shvis, we don't find you for having done that work. It's not considered to be a work which sufficiently significant that we should find you for having done it. It sounds like a tircha, not necessarily tircha meruba. So therefore, it doesn't sound like lechatchila because it says sheni skapza. But if you did do it, then you can still plan Motzei Shvis. Netaiva or shenidaira, but if you plowed it, netaiva is to plow. or you made the deer, the fertilized it, as in our Mishnah, lo tizar motzei Shevi'is. You can't blame motzei Shevi'is. The Kol Marachain, yet our Mishnah here says that tells us exactly how to work it with your field and make a deer in your field and get the fertilizer there. So isn't that a contradiction to this Talmud Taninon, which is in Perek Dal Halacha Beis, the Mishnah coming up next parak. So Rabbi Yehuda said Kini Mas Nisa. This is the way to understand our Mishnah. Lahamid Tzom B'toch Sadeyu. If you have you want to put your sheep into your field to safekeep them. You didn't have a mind to do fertilizer. Fertilizer is not your intent. Your intent is to keep your sheep there. Then the Sarah Beis Hasayim. So then you can you should put them into one area of the field, not let them graze the entire field, so it shouldn't look like you're fertilizing. And Echanami, you didn't have mind to fertilize. If you had a mind to fertilize, then you would not be allowed to do Motzei Shevi'is. And this is talking about a case where you specifically had a mind to corral your animals there. Chazal said, we're getting machmi on you. You may have mind to corral your animals. We don't want to look at you fertilizing your field, so therefore you have to have this arrangement with a 4-scene or 8-scene. Okay, it says more further. Tanya, which I'm not sure actually says in the this is Tabnaki, I'm not sure it actually says that in the Gemara. No, it doesn't say Tanya. But B'cholosin Sarin, you can make these corrals in anything. B'machzolos, with mats, b'kash, with straw, b'avonim. The wall that you're making around that sar, it doesn't have any specific parameters. It's familiar to us from sukkahs, right? When you have a sukkah with a canvas sukkah or something like that, so you put 3 chavolim one on top of the other in order that it makes 10 tefachim. Obviously, each chavel has to have a little thickness, in which in love with each other. So that's already considered to be enough of a wall. And that's here. The article has a picture here. There's a thickness, obviously, so it's by the time you get to the top, you have 10 tefachim. So that works too. The Uvach lo yed ben sar mesar kamosar. You can make another sar if you want. Evidently, even according to Tanakama, but Uvach lo ben sar mesar kamosar. You can't. It has to be close to the other one, so it doesn't look like you're doing you want to go through different areas of the field and fertilize it. They have to be within the sar, whatever the shear of the sar is. Remember, it's 5,000 grams within whatever format you want it. There can't be more than Malay sar between between each sar, and because then it is a marasayin. So it looks like fertilizer the field. And that area of Osamakum, what do you do in that area between the sar and sar? Cholebo, gozesbo, you can milk the animals there, and you can shear the animals there. Umolich umevi es hatzon derech olav. And the point is, they don't have to make it sheep rine. There are no sheep in there. There can be sheep there. They just can't spend time there grazing and fertilizing. So you can make a gap. Evidently, you're supposed to make a gap if you're adding. This seems to me from the Gemara that if you're adding a third sar, according to Rabbanan, and I think there's going to be a difference between Rabbanan and Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, that third sar has to be distant from the first two. So it doesn't look like you're doing a large area and for fertilizing it. It has to be distant, but it can't be distant the shear of an entire sar, because then it looks again like you're spreading around your field. So there has to be a gap between the two of less than a base of time. In that gap of less than a base of time, you can do whatever you want with your sheep. It doesn't have to be made free of sheep, but you can't actually graze them in there in order that they should then dump fertilizer there. Okay, if they happen to dump fertilizer, of course, then it's fine. That should not be that you're making that area into an area of grazing like the place of the sar, which the sar which you're making. Rav Shimon Gamliel Beis Shmonasein. You make a Beis Shmonasein. And again, it seems like the difference between Tanakama and Shimon Gamliel is that according to Tanakama, two in one place, but then you have to distance it. Not too far, but you have to distance the third one. Shimon Gamliel says four in one place. And the way Tanya Shimon Ben Lezer, Omer Shimon Lezer explains, if you want to kiss, you say Boritz. You put a peg into the ground. Well, it's a sign. Arbab Aruchosel Shishmonazain. You see here, there's a that's the peg in the ground, and you go around that peg and make the eight the four sarin each of side. The that brings us to the bottom of Chaf Aleph on the base, which is whether we should continue on a little bit. Let's go on just a little bit. Again, the Kabnaki puts in the word Tani. Aim and lo b'Shabbos lo yontif. We don't put. This is a story about not Shemitah. You can't make a fertilized area on Shabbos yontif. Lo b'chol shemoed. Even in the chol shemoed. I feel b'toiva. Even though it's a favor, meaning you're not getting paid for it. And this means that the Kabnaki explains that even if a guy does it for you, you're not able to do it during one of these days, even if the Goyish shepherd doing it, and even if the Goy does it for free, you're still not allowed to do it on Shabbos Yontif. Obviously, it's inimical to the spirit of Shabbos Yontif, even if it's not specifically a melacha. Shomer, you're not allowed to put a shomer there, low to shake and not to shake the sheep. So it's really one thing. It's low Elo Shiloh Sheep Shomer low Lidna air is its own word below he could take out probably, but that's not necessary. The point is that he can't evidently shaking the sheep makes them defecate more and gives you more fertilizer. So you're not allowed to do that on Shabbos or Shabbos, etc. Okay, being bow mal. So this is about I guess where the animals are already there. Just so before, aim Madai means you can't put them there. Well, they're already there. Okay, they're there, but still, you can't have the shepherd, whoever it is, try and produce more fertilizer by shaking the sheep. If the non-Jews come and they work on their own initiative and facilitate your fertilizer production, we don't assist them. Then if they're doing a Shabbos Yontiv now, it's missing something here. If they were a Sachir, they're hired for weekdays. They're hired for a month or a year, and they are coming on Shabbos because they want to take off Sunday next week. So for their own benefit, they're coming on Shabbos to do the work, and they'll take off a day during the week for themselves. So if they're doing it for their own purposes, who Rashai Lo Shiv Shomer, so then he's allowed to put a Shomer there. In other words, the Baal Soda can tell him that, okay, once you're coming, you can do Linares its own. Shake the sheep. Vimbo Maleim, and furthermore, if they can come on their own, so then Messiah knows you can actually help them out. Again, this is coming where they came with Das Atzmam for their own benefit, and you can help them out because since we're working really for their own benefit, so therefore it's not like you're working for yourself on Shabbos Yontiv. You're working, which would be Osir, but because Messiah, Shabbos, whatever the case may be, but you're allowed to assist them because really they're working on Das Atzmam at this point. the Rabaz brings down the Girsa from the Maharaf Fulda that he actually brings down from the Tosefta, Bimayu Osim, in this case, Bimayu Osim Shabbos, Bimayu Osim Imo Shabbosos, that it should be Bimayu Schar Chodesh, Shabbos, etc. And then it would mean not necessarily that he's making up days, but in other words, he wants to be up on Sunday, so he works on Shabbos, but rather he can come. He's there for a month. It's kind of like when you pay Schar Shabbos. If you're not paying specifically for Shabbos, so then it's okay. There's a Schar Shavua Chodesh, etc. You're paying all the time as well. So therefore, it will come out a bigger chiddush that even though he's Schar Chodesh, since Schar Chodesh does not have to come all the time, and so obviously he doesn't have to come on Shabbos work for the Jew. It becomes so it's al das atzmo, and therefore you can make it. You can work with him. I'm not so sure what I just said is so significant. That's the difference. The difference when he works day by day and he wants to make up a day, or he works for a month but wants to make up a day. It seems probably the same thing. Okay. Anyway, we'll stop here for today.